Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my video presentation. My name is Muhammad Ilham Ilahi from the Master's Program in English Education at Indraprastha PGRI University. This video is part of my midterm examination for academic speaking for specific purposes subject under the guidance Professor Dr. Mashadi Said MPD. Okay, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting and relevant topic with teaching English as a foreign language. It is about fostering student motivation. I will be exploring this through a specific framework known as the ARC model of English learning. Okay, here is the outline for our discussion today. First, we will start with a brief introduction on why motivation matters so much in the English classroom. And then, we will dive into understanding the ARC model itself. We will examine each of its three core components: autonomy, competence, relatedness. After that, we will look at some practical strategies you can apply using the ARC model. We will finish with a brief conclusion. Okay, in this slide, the motivation in learning English. So, let's begin with the fundamental question: why motivation? We have all seen students who find learning English to be difficult and sometimes even boring. Motivation is the psychological engine that drives learning success. It is the most important factor in true student engagement. Understanding the ARC model. To build that motivation, we can use a framework called the ARC model. This model comes from the well-established self-determination theory. It proposes that to enhance student motivation, we must satisfy three core psychological needs. These are autonomy, relatedness, and competence. So let's go. ARC model components. Let's quickly define these three components. First one, the autonomy, which is the student's sense of choice and control over their own learning. And second, relatedness, which is about building connection and fostering a feeling of belonging and teamwork in the classroom. And the third, competence, which is the student's confidence in their own abilities gained by mastering new skills through achievable challenges. Now let's take a look at each one in more detail, starting with autonomy. Autonomy. Empowering students' autonomy is about empowering our students' voice to boost their motivation to learn English. It is about encouraging their choice. When we provide students with autonomy, it fundamentally enhances their engagement and, most importantly, their own personal investment in learning. They stop being passive receivers and become active owners of their education. Autonomy strategies. So how do we give students autonomy? Here are three practical strategies. First, choice of topics. We can allow students to select their preferred topics for a project, choose the material they want to study, or even decide on the format for their final presentation. And then second, self-directed learning. We can encourage students to take charge of their learning through independent projects that spark their own creativity and exploration. And then the third, inquiry-based tasks. This involves using project-based tasks that allow students to investigate real-world problems, which has the added benefit of developing their critical thinking skills. Okay, relatedness. The second component is relatedness. Within the learning environment, this is about fostering connection and confidence. Learning a new language can be a very vulnerable experience. Therefore, creating a supportive atmosphere is critical. When students feel connected and safe, it empowers them and encourages active participation. So, how? We can build relatedness in three key ways. First, a warm classroom atmosphere. This means creating a supportive environment where every student feels safe and encouraged to express their ideas freely without fear of harsh criticism. Second, parent group activities. Using collaborative tasks is a perfect way to foster teamwork. It allows students to connect, build relations, and learn together. And last, active listening and diversity. We must encourage active listening and an appreciation for diversity, of course. We can do this with activities that highlight different perspectives and cultural experience. And then the competency strategies. Our final component is competence. Students need to feel that they can succeed if they believe they are bad at English. Their motivation will disappear, of course. So here are the three strategies to build competence. The first one is achievable challenges. We must provide tests that gradually increase in difficulty. The scaffolding helps students develop their skills and build confidence step by step. And the second, constructive feedback. It is the vital to offer positive and specific feedback. This feedback should highlight a student's strengths first, while then clearly guiding them on the specific areas they can improve. The third, celebrate progress. We must acknowledge and celebrate small achievements, even small, and efforts, and therefore their efforts. It builds the confidence and encourages them to continue learning. So, as we have seen and built in our classrooms, motivation is not a mystery. It is something we can actively design. So in conclusion, intentionally focusing on the ARC model gives us a powerful practical framework by autonomy, giving student choice, with relatedness building a community, and competence building their confidence. We can create a truly motivation environment where students are engaged, confident, and ultimately successful in their English learning journey. Conclusion: ARC models helps create motivated, confident English learners. It meets students' needs for independence, belonging, and of course, the achievement. Teachers should act as the facilitators of growth, not just knowledge providers. Remember, motivation is not a spark, it's a system we build. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.